The show got very heated when these young girls bragged about their sexual conquests.
Me and my boyfriend, we have sex 3-4 times a day.
Black men are better? Why?
Because they're more experienced and they don't just lay there like all the white guys do.
What kind of man do you think is going to want to marry someone like you that has sexual...
But after we finished taping, the show took a turn that we never expected. And we decided to keep the cameras rolling, and you're about to see what happened. You don't want to miss this. Thank you for joining us very much again. This is part 2. We have been talking about girls and what pretty much boils down to Olympic sex. And on yesterday's show, the heart of the matter, I don't feel, came out. The heart of the matter is, Jane?
I think it's self-respect and what you choose to do and how you view sex and what sex is going to mean for the rest of your lives.
Let's take those slowly, one at a time.
That's true.
How do you feel about your self-respect?
I have a lot of self-respect for myself. It's not, I don't walk up to somebody and like spread my legs or, you know, say, no, it's not funny. You know, and say, let's just have sex. I know a person before I have sex with them. I don't think I should be sitting up here and being viewed as a slut from everyone in the audience.
Okay. Let's go to Carly. How's your self-respect, Carly?
I don't have any.
Don't have any?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I just, I really didn't have a father my whole life. And he was there, but he wasn't there. And a lot of emotional abuse, more than physical, and it hurts more than the physical abuse does.
From whom?
My father. He really didn't...
Give me examples of that.
You're an idiot. You're stupid. You're never going to get anywhere in life. Your looks are going to get you everywhere, and that's it. You have nothing. You have nothing to live for. Just, you know, not.
And how does
he doesn't
that,
assure me.
How does that impact your life, Carly?
When you get put down enough, you start to believe it. And the bad stuff, of course, is easier to believe.
Well, if you say you don't like you very much, what does being with a guy do for you?
It makes me think that I'm special.
Okay.
It makes me feel that I'm wanted. It makes me feel that I'm actually something to somebody, and I mean something to somebody. I mean, like Jessica, I don't walk up to a guy in the club and say, you want to have sex? I know a person before I have sex with them, and most people, most of the guys that I happen to fall in love with, unfortunately, don't want sex.
I mean, I feel so sad to hear you say these things because there are obviously so many wonderful traits about you that you don't. What I think people need to learn is that you don't need to have sex, and you can have a wonderful relationship, you can have an intimate relationship, and sex can be the ultimate end of that, and it can be something that you give to very selective people as a gift if you choose. I don't think it's wrong to have pleasure. I don't think it's wrong for you to feel good about yourself, but what you need to learn to do is to find ways to feel good about yourself other than having sex.
Well, I don't notice the good things about myself.
You don't?
There are enough people out there. You have friends who can tell you those things. You have teachers, you have guidance counselors. There are a lot of people who can help you find those things out about yourself. You're not alone. There are a lot of teenagers. This is one of the toughest times in your life. And to know who you are and what you're about, but what you're about is not being in bed with someone. What you're about is a lot of things.
What about you, April?
I don't have any self-respect neither because my dad, I mean, he was just never there for me or anything.
Tell me about Dad.
He just drinks all the time, and I mean, every time I see him, he's drinking. I mean, he just never talks to me. I can't even look my dad straight in the eye.
Cannot. So what does being with a man do for you?
It makes me feel special, like I'm wanted.
Do you like you?
No.
Do you think you're pretty?
No.
Do you think you're intelligent?
No.
Do you think you're worth something?
No.
Okay. Angela, we've already heard that you, on yesterday's show, and bringing everyone up to date, that you had been abused as a child. Can you tell us about it?
I had been molested by a teenage guy, and the cops took a report on it and turned it into the DA, and the DA threw out the charges because they didn't believe me, and they said there wasn't enough evidence. The second time I was molested was by my brother-in-law's brother, and he was drunk, and he molested me. And
what did he do?
Ever since then, he's been making passes at me and coming on to me, and it makes my self-esteem feel really low. It makes me feel like I'm nothing. I was head cheerleader of the cheerleading squad, and everybody tells me you're beautiful, you have so much going for you, and I don't believe a word that they say because I've been burned by being molested and nobody would take the time and hear me out.
You're stronger. You can be stronger than these things that they're doing to you. You can be stronger. You're making a choice to sleep with them. You can make the very same choice not to if you want to.
Right.
And it's easy for all of us to say that, and I know that we're not you, and I know that these are tough choices for you to make, but you can. You're giving it to someone, and it can make you feel just as good to say no to this as it does to say yes.
It makes you feel better to say
That's
no.
right.
Yeah.
What about, let's go to Jennifer. Jane, can Jennifer, is it an excuse that she was molested? Can that be used as an excuse?
I think it's a horrible thing to have happened to you. I really do, and it's going to affect your life forever. But you are your own person. You're a mature person. You're making your choices. You can't use that as a reason for destroying the rest of your life. You have to rise above it. You have to make things better.
Yes. I think it's kind of interesting. When we started the first segment, we got the impression from what was up on the screen and everything of these women that just love to have sex and just do this and that. But now we realize that they're just people. And I think you realize that also, that, you know, just because your father or your stepbrother or your mother's uncle's cousin molested you, you have 60 more years of your life to live. And don't let those people get away with taking away the rest of your life.
Have any of you ever regretted having the sex with somebody after you've had it?
Yes, many times.
Tell us about when you've regretted it. Let's go down the line, Jennifer.
I was dating a guy, and I found out that he was sleeping with a friend of mine. This just happened, I think, like 3 months ago. And I did sleep with him, and she was supposed to be my best friend, and she ended up sleeping with him, and I regret it. And I regret the person that I slept with that I got chlamydia from.
Okay. Angela?
Like I said, the thing that I regret most is whenever I got caught in a minister's home.
Okay. April?
I don't know.
You don't regret any of it?
Well, I do in a way, but
as
I can't think of one particular time that I
Okay. Carly?
I was in love with a boy I lost my virginity with. I was in love with him. And we were going together for 2.5 years. And I cheated on him, and I lost something very special when I did.
Jessica?
I don't regret anything.
Don't regret. Yes.
I just want to say that you guys all mentioned that having sex with these guys makes you feel special and wanted and what have you, but and you think sex is good now, you know, you should try it with somebody that makes you feel special without having sex. It'll be 100 times better.
Yes, Mom.
Yes. First of all, I want to say to all you girls, you are very special people, and you do have a lot of things, qualities that you don't know you have. To Jennifer, I really need to say to you, I don't care to bury you like these parents just buried her from AIDS. I was married for 13 years to Jennifer's father. I was abused physically. He brought a woman home who wanted to sleep with both of us. I didn't do that. So we got a divorce. And for 4 years, I stayed alone with Jennifer, and she has a brother, William, who's 12.
Hi, William.
And we were alone for 4 years, and we did very well. And I met a very wonderful man. Now I'm going to be 40, almost at 39, 40 next year. And I just found out what love is, what sex with a man that you can love. And it isn't just intercourse. It's the touching, it's the holding each other, it's the talking, it's the respect for each other. And at this age, I'm just finding out this is the most wonderful thing in the world. And to Rusty, I have to thank him because he's taught me sex is not dirty. Because I was molested as a child. I was molested from the time I was 9 until I was 14 years old. Dad does not know this. Dad, I'm sorry.
Who was it?
friends of our family.
So it's important Dad doesn't know it.
And I'm starting to read a book called Aching for Love, and it's on adult sexual healing by a woman named Marianne Klausner, whom I have read, and I have been in one of her classes before with my sister, who is taking a class. And you do have a healing to go through.
Jennifer, did you know about Mom?
I knew she's been molested, yes.
What's upsetting you?
I don't know.
I want to ask you all a question. And Jane, eventually, we're going to take a break, and then you're going to have to help me with this. We have producers on this television show who are all female, because I like working with women. And would you like to guess what they told me about the 5 of you? They have been with you. They've spent time with you. They went to the park with you. What do you think they thought of you from the moment you arrived till now?
I didn't think that they liked us. I don't know what everybody
You
else
didn't think they liked you?
No, I just
Why?
thought they wanted us on the show, and they really didn't care what kind of persons we were. They just wanted us to tell how.
What do you think they thought of you?
Can I say her name?
You can just say whatever you want. Sure.
Okay, I thought Christina was great. She helped us with everything, and she was just like, you know, you got to be
What do
really
you think
outgoing.
she told me about you?
Well, she told us that she told you that we were great, and, you know, just have fun.
What do you think she told us?
She told us that she told you that we was great and
We were going to be the best
Yeah.
teenagers you've ever had on here.
Mm-hmm. You are. You're the best teenagers. But what do you think they thought of your morals?
That we didn't have a lot. That they, sorry to use that, but
Right. What do you think she thought of you in the park?
A bunch of whores.
That's right. Now, what made you all, in front of people, act that way when we return?
Tonight's forecast, freezer burn. You need Ziploc brand freezer bags. Only Ziploc has the gripper zipper. Tough, tiny teeth you can feel gripping. Locks freshness in, freezer burn out. I'm freezing my rump roast. Ziploc has the lock on freshness.
Your lips need special protection from the sun's harmful rays. That's why there's new Blistex Ultra Protection with 5 protectants, SPF 30. Blistex Ultra Protection. This season, it's on everybody's lips.
All over the Cleveland area, homeowners are calling Centennial Mortgage Company to discover their home's borrowing power. People like yourself are dialing 687-8080 and finding out how Centennial can help them with bill consolidation, home improvement, and many other personal needs. Centennial starts where banks and loan committees stop. So even if you've had credit problems in the past or can't verify your income, call Centennial now at 687-8080.
At IGA, you'll find a great selection of national brands and our own IGA brands, so you can make a smart choice based on values like Johnsonville Bratwurst, brown and served, just $1.69 a pound. Thirst-quenching Gatorade, a big buy, now only 79 cents. And Big Roll Scott towels are just 59 cents. For quality products and great 4th of July savings, the smart choice is IGA.
They're teenage sisters who do everything together, especially fight. Next Donahue, teenage sisters who can't stop fighting. They argue over clothes, they bicker over boyfriends, and even squabble over parental attention. But is all this fighting just a phase, a temporary tiff between siblings, or will it make them enemies forever? Are squabbling teen sisters causing a problem in your family? Next Donahue.
Today at 5 on Channel 3.
I guess in a way, we can talk about giving it away because most of us don't like ourselves too much, with 1 or 2 examples. Now let's talk about that thing called peer pressure. 5 young ladies arrived from California and Oregon and Pennsylvania and Alabama. And they came to New York City, and you've already admitted that what you did was quite a scene. Taxi cab drivers and limo drivers and guys you picked up in the park and all of that. What is this thing, can any of you tell me what makes you act that way?
I can.
Can you?
I don't know. I can only guess, but I think part of it is it's nice to get attention. I think a lot of teenagers don't get attention, and I think that...
Is that right, Angela?
In a way, yeah, but I just like to be like, I like to be in there, and I like to flirt. I've always been a flirt.
Okay.
So I just like to flirt with guys. It's not, just because I flirt with them and ask them if they want to have children don't mean I want to sleep with them, because I just like to flirt.
It's a power, isn't it? I mean, it's an ability to get someone to behave towards you in a certain way.
I'm very
manipulative.
Thank you. I'm
very manipulative. All right,
person, and I get my way about anything.
If you were with somebody, Angela, who said in the park, if you'd been all alone with somebody who said, don't act that way, what would you have done?
I would act that way.
Okay.
We told her, we said, this is New York, this is not Alabama. And we tried to stop her, but... Oh, California?
Okay.
Can I say something? Sorry.
Yes, Jennifer. What about peer pressure?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything about peer pressure. It was about, like, how we felt about ourselves.
Okay.
Something like that. But all my life, since I've been growing up, my parents and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and everybody else have told me, you're so cute, you're so beautiful, Jennifer. But I was on a lot of drugs and I didn't believe any of it. And now that I'm off of it and I have a lot of self-esteem about myself, and I don't have a lot to where I still think that because I don't think that I'm beautiful or pretty or whatever. And when guys will pick up on me and say, you're so beautiful or something, you know, I'll look at them and say, yeah, get some glasses. You know, that's just how I am.
I feel like there's like a big separation here, and it's so funny because I feel the same way. I don't expect you to believe me, but this is how it is. My whole life I've been called fat. My whole life I've been called ugly, and I know I'm not now.
Who did the calling?
Oh, my brothers and sisters. I have 3 brothers and a sister. And I mean, talk about like writing it in your yearbook of your picture, and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, anyone who saw me, strangers on the street would call me that. But now I know that I am a flirt and I'm a beautiful person, and that makes me worth waiting for, and someone worth saying to me, looking at me and not, you know, just my sexuality is a huge part of me, but it's not everything. And someone comes up to me and says, you know, you're sexy, you're beautiful. I still go, yeah, you know, but there's a big part of me that's like really comfortable with that now, and I think that's what it's about. I mean, 5 years ago, I would have never ever been able to admit that.
I think you'll all find something very interesting. When you talk to teenage girls who are having a lot of sex, and you ask them the question, in your group, how much sex are the others having? What do they usually say?
Well, it actually goes back and forth. Usually, all the other girls are having sex. Usually, there's a big problem. If all of your friends are having sex, then you're going to want to too. But some girls say, well, some of my friends are having sex and some aren't. But the standard today is to have sex. So many teenagers are having sex before they get to college or before they turn 18 that you become very different by not having sex. So you really have to have a lot of strength to be able to go beyond that.
What I was thinking of is that when asked, promiscuous young ladies who were having repeated sexual encounters thought that 70% of all girls their age were having sex, when in effect, how many were having it?
Less than 50%.
Less than 50%.
And
actually, I think it was 31%. So a lot of people talk a big game, and that makes some people go out and do it. And it's talking a big game, and that may be somewhat peer pressure. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not trying to put any of you down. I have a daughter 26 years old myself. But trying to meet a husband and having sex, you better wake up and smell the coffee, because you're not going to find no husband by having sex.
You're saying lack of respect.
I don't think anybody's asking you to go on a starvation diet and give up sex forever. It's a thing that should be integrated in life. And when Carly said, gee, you can't have an orgasm playing tennis, I would think, when you think about the pleasure that Steffi Graf and all those young women have gotten from sex, as well as an income and a career and what they want out of life, you think about that, there's a high pleasure quotient there.
What are you saying, Rachel?
We've lost complete focus on the balance that you need in your life as related to sex. I am asking that they refrain from sex. It isn't a necessary part of the dating process when you're 14 years old.
That's right.
You people have missed the point. We as a society, look, let me tell you something. 20s, and I have had a very full life and a sizable income as a result of modeling, and I've never slept with anyone. That's right. There's no reason to combine the two. It's no better that you've had... No, it isn't. No, you're missing the point. You're not giving them a choice. No, you're not giving them a choice. You're saying, here's a condom, be careful. That, you've made their choice for them. No. Nobody here is stating that abstinence is just as good an idea, if not better. Right. It's no better to have sex once a month for the rest of your life, premaritally, than to have it every day for a month for the rest of your life. No, the quantity is not the issue here. It's the idea that you're doing it out of marriage. It's wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think that the main problem here that's not really being addressed is what she kind of said before was just that, you know, she doesn't feel special about herself or things like that. And I think that's the main issue is that people they're looking for ways to feel better about themselves, and that can't happen through sex. You have to really feel better about yourself. And, you know, a lot of it may stem back to your relationship with your fathers and whatnot, but that, I think, needs to be the focus here, not really about that there are sluts or they're this and they're that, because they really seem to be good people and nice people. It's just
all at this point, right?
I'll admit that 50% of it is because of my self-esteem, and 25% is because of my father, and the other 25% is just because, well, okay, 15% is also peer pressure. I will admit to that.
So we've got peer pressure and self-esteem. Sir,
Do you think you can build your self-esteem when
For you two on the end, another show, you said you're going to wait for the right man to come along? I tell you right now, you're going to wait for a long time.
It's interesting. All the men in the audience seem to be angry at anyone who says that they're a virgin. Why is there anger at somebody who says that they would like to wait? Where does that anger with a woman who would like to wait come from? Do you know?
I think it's very unfair. I think that teenagers today aren't being given enough reasons to wait, and that's why...
It's because the guys are saying things like that,
I think that's part of it, and I think that these women probably will find wonderful men. I don't think it makes you any better or worse of a person to be a virgin. That's not the point.
It's not the point.
The point is how you deal with your sexuality, and if you're making them feel as bad as we are making them.
I'm not any better than any of the people on the panel because I've chosen to wait. Right. I'm happier because I've chosen to wait, and that's what I want for them. Okay, they haven't waited, but it isn't too late.
Rachel, it may not work for them.
You're missing the point. What I'm saying is when I was a teenager, I graduated high school 10 years ago, 1983, okay? And back then, AIDS wasn't as big a deal as it is now. Now it's like you hear all these movie stars and everybody's dying. Okay, I think that what you got to do is you got to remember about if you were molested when you were kids or whatever happened when you were in the past, you got to try to just block that out of your mind, more so than somebody who grew up with a normal childhood. Okay, and what you should do also is you think about if you really love somebody, it doesn't matter. One person says never sleep with them until you're married, like you said, which I don't believe is true. Okay, that's your opinion. I think that you shouldn't go around, screwing around with everybody, under the boardwalk, down a Wildwood, none of that kind of stuff. I think what you should do is you should really love somebody, okay? You should really get to know that person totally. And if you live with them or whatever, it might be the best thing. But not just somebody you meet on the street, somebody who you develop a relationship with.
Selectively
okay?
immoral.
But Sally, also part of it is I think that we're ignoring the fact that people are growing up so early today. People are being exposed to things at age 10 and 12. And so it's when you deal with images, the sexual images that you see and hear and people talk about or don't talk about, it's a hard pressure to overcome.
All right, we've discussed self-esteem and we've discussed peer pressure. We can continue talking about them, but right now I'd like to talk about what ideas you've gotten about sex from the media. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
We are hooked on phonics. We are learning to read.
This is the best class I've ever had in my life. It has to be due to Hooked on Phonics. The best investment you could make would be to buy this program. There is no better way to learn, and it's the best investment you will ever make.
We are hooked on phonics.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
We tried something different, and a lot of people got into it. So your Chevy Network dealers are extending the one-price Chevy Beretta, $10,995. Now, there's no need to negotiate. Chevrolet has issued new window stickers with bottom-line prices, so you don't have to haggle. A special shipment of Chevy Berettas with anti-lock brakes, a driver's side airbag, air conditioning, and AM/FM stereo, $10,995. One-price Chevy Berettas, back for a limited time at your Chevy Network dealers.
Your diamond jewelry is worth a great deal to you, but it may be worth even more to us. We're Dicker & Dicker Jewelers. Dicker & Dicker's expert jewelers will pay you for your old, unwanted diamond jewelry. More cash than you can get anywhere else. Buying and selling pre-owned jewelry is one of Dicker & Dicker's specialties. Dicker & Dicker, for the most cash for your precious jewelry. Call Dicker & Dicker now, 381-8130. Dicker & Dicker Jewelers.
Henry only dreamed about playing in the majors.
I got it!
Until
Hey, Ron Gardner, catch!
he got the break of a lifetime.
The tendons have healed a little tight.
This summer,
I'm the new pitcher.
the majors will be answering to a minor.
I dare you to run. What? Chicken?
Rookie of the Year.
Gotcha.
Rated PG. Special sneak preview Friday. Check newspapers.
What's next on Springer?
I was a 10-year-old boy.
4 brothers who shared one terrible secret. They were all being sexually abused by their adoptive father, and no one would help.
I don't understand how anybody could do that to someone.
Jerry's not afraid to ask.
How come everyone else is wrong and you're right?
To understand.
Have you ever been hurt? How can you know what they're feeling?
To provoke.
Here's a thought. Somebody stand up.
Jerry Springer.
Today at 10 on Channel 3.
Quinn says it's her mother's fault she's so overweight.
One time she said, why don't you put a gun to your head and blow your brains out?
Can such abuse help anyone lose weight?
My daughter is dying.
Next, Sally.
Yes.
Girls, I'm 24 years old, all right? I've been where you are, all right? I've been down the road of being pregnant. I've been down the road of being hurt, all right? If I was you, I'd stop, I'd think now, I'd turn my life around, concentrate on getting a job, going to college like you want to do, making money, and having a future. That guy will come around. Don't go out looking to get in bed with somebody, all right? You're going to get hurt, and you're going to get hurt, and over and over and over again. Let that guy find you, all right? I found somebody great. I'm 24 years old. I would never want to go back to do what you're doing now.
Let me take a cue from your book. Is she right? How often have you been hurt by a man?
Every time.
How often have you been...
Well, let me rephrase that. My boyfriend now, he
Besides
treats me,
him, how often have you been hurt by a man?
3 times.
How often have you been hurt?
Once.
Once?
Once.
Once?
Once.
Once. It's a hard thing.
Wait, can we ask them down there? Because I'm sure they've had
Sure.
boyfriends.
Sure. How often have you been hurt?
Well, I'd say about 4 times. I was engaged for 5 years when I was 16. So.
That hurt is pretty awful. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know if any of you girls have been tested for HIV.
I have.
I was in the hospital for a kidney infection for a couple of weeks, and I had to get tested because I had blood transfusion.
Let me ask the mothers, is that one of your biggest worries, one of your biggest fears?
HIV? Oh, definitely.
What about you, Mom?
Most definitely.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering if it's just a coincidence, but where does education come into this? Is it just a coincidence that the virgins are more well-versed and educated and that the other girls have been high school dropouts?
Up to this year, I was in school, I did well. This year, I just got very, I don't know what happened.
We got very lazy.
I think the lack of education or the dropout and so forth is symptomatic, just like promiscuity.
But you also have
It's
to take into
symptomatic
consideration
of
that
a
she's
bigger
23
problem.
and 19, and we're only 15 and 14.
But they made it through high school, and you're not.
Right.
But maybe they had both parents to be role models.
We did.
We don't have both.
That's what we need to
Well,
address.
I think we're missing a point here. I think that you should be role models to these little girls that are out here. Would you like your sister acting like this, or would you like these 10-year-old girls to grow up and do this? Is that setting an example?
I think they need an example. I think they need an example. I think we need to fix the situation first. It's
Right.
too much pressure to put on them
You
to
two
say,
are both
you have a
great role models."
responsibility. They need to be looking
that's
to
what
people
media's
like
not
us and
doing.
people that we looked at. To
Let's talk about the media. Jane, what effect on these young ladies does the media have?
I think it's really hard to see so many images of sex, of strange sex, of lots of sex, of all different things when you're very young and not feel like it's something you want to partake of, something you're curious about, something that's going to give you pleasure and make you older. So rarely in the media is true love addressed, or if it is, it's done in such a romantic and fake way that people often don't see that as a real end and something they can achieve, but it's just the sex. And I mean, who wouldn't want to be Sharon Stone and as sexy as she is when you see that? And if that's what your vision of sex is going to be, it may make you move a little closer to doing it.
Let's go down the line. Jennifer, how terrific was the first time? Why?
Because we were in the bushes and he was little.
Angela?
I wanted to do it because all my friends had lost their virginity, and I wanted to lose my virginity too. So I decided, well, it's about time, so I did it.
Angela?
Mine was just humiliating
Why?
because I got caught.
Okay. April?
It's too, because I couldn't feel anything.
Why? Why?
Because it was little.
Okay. Carly?
I was in love, and I was 13, and he was 16, and we had been going together for a while, and it was right, and I know it was right, because I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him. I know I was young to think that, but I've been mature since I was 10, ever since I first...
Was it a good experience?
It was good, but it was scary.
Were you too young? If you had it to do over
Do I
again?
think I was too young?
Yes.
I really don't think age matters.
Okay. And
Well, I mean-
Jessica?
To a certain extent.
I don't regret it, but I guess it was something that could have waited. It was very painful, but
We have 5 girls whose first experience was awful. Why go do it again?
it got better.
If I could do it all over again,
Where do these girls see themselves 5 years from now, 7 years from now?
I want to have my, I want to work with teenagers that have alcohol and drug problems or be a pediatrician.
Don't you need to go to school for that?
Yes, and I'm going back to school next year. I'm going back probably to regular high school. If not regular high school, I'm going back to an alternative school.
Angela? Angela?
In 5 years, I see myself graduated out of high school because I am still in school, and I'm making good grades. And I see myself graduated, and I am going to be going to probation school in college and becoming a probation officer.
Angela? April, sorry?
Oh, I plan on going back to school and getting a college degree. I don't know what.
I can't say I picture myself doing anything. I'm good at certain things, but I haven't found what I'm best at.
Jessica?
I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to school next year, but I'm definitely either going to go to a Job Corps or
something.
Yeah.
I really think we need to teach self-esteem. We have to have self-esteem programs in our schools. Absolutely. And I think we all need to do this together. Absolutely. So write to people, talk to counselors, talk to your principals. They're doing this now in California, and I think we need to do it across the nation. So
could it be done, Jane?
I think it definitely can be done. I think that these girls wanted it to be done, and it's not about sex ed. It's about your life planning and what do you want out of your life. And you don't have to talk about sex at age 8, but you have to talk about what are your goals, where do you want to be, what do you see for
Aren't
yourself.
there a lot of parents who don't want children to be talked to about sex in
Sadly,
school?
they do, and I think that that's propagating all of these horrible things.
It's not about sex. Yeah, it's not about sex.
It's about making choices, and it's about doing what you want to do.
Sir?
Right. I think that some of these girls should set goals for themselves and
yes.
try to work it as they're still young and try to grow up and make a living and do something with your life and try to wake up before something like AIDS catches one of you and you wind up 6 foot under.
You know, it's funny though, because
go ahead.
I just want to say one thing, which is we're all talking about them getting AIDS. Any one of you in this room who ever had sex, and I'm sure there are a lot of you, could have AIDS or get pregnant. And it doesn't take having sex, 5 times a week to do it. And it's easy to look at them and point the finger, but that's why the education
once,
needs to start.
right?
They could get it
However,
faster than
in
I could.
teenage girls, it has doubled in the last 2 years. That makes
Can I
them
say
the
something?
most.
My little brother's 12 years old, and now he's saying, yeah, I got some.
He's saying that at 12.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just us. I mean, I went and spoke to the 6th grade class at the middle school where my little brother goes to, and half those kids in there have either done drugs or have been around people that have done drugs. Half those kids in there have had sex. I think they did a thing at our school, and everybody was honest on it. They told them, we want you to be honest on it. 3 or 4 girls are virgins at our school, and the rest, and we've got 15,000, 16,000 people at our school.
Oh my
Question.
I have more of a statement. I disagree with Jane. I think that at age 8 you should be talking about sex. I think that as as soon as you have kids, it should be something that you
I think you're right.
influence. I think that if you start talking about sex when you're 15 or 16 years old and start questioning, well, is my kid sexually
No, I
active?
completely agree with you. What I'm saying is it's not just about sex. It's about a lot of other issues that need to be
I was raised
raised.
in an environment where we talked about sex all the time. It was from day one. It was not an abnormal thing. I don't think that it's the least bit abnormal. I'm not abnormal about it. But you've got to have the strength to withstand what the media shows you, what film shows you. I
And what
live
your
the
friends
same
say.
environment
But
that you all
why do parents have such a problem talking to their kids about sex? I'm going to ask the kids, and when we return.
Morning, Joe.
Morning, Mrs. Jenks. Got a Western Union here for Mr. Jenks. Hope it's good news.
Oh, it is. It's that $1 a week life insurance for veterans that Tom and I called about.
$1 a week life insurance?
Uh-huh. It's a real good deal. And because Tom was in the service, I can get coverage, too, for just $1 a week.
You know, I could use some extra insurance.
Well, you were in the service, weren't you, Joe?
Well, yeah, but it was stateside. Army Reserves.
Doesn't matter. Says here, wartime, peacetime, active, or reserves. All branches of service.
Great. What do I do? Make a phone call?
Sure. Let me write down the number.
And if you're a veteran, age 45 to 75, or the spouse of a veteran, you'll want to write down this number, too, because now you can get in on a $1 a week term life insurance plan for veterans.
It's a great value for both veterans and spouses. Just $1 a week gets you the coverage you need at a price you can afford. And your benefits, well, they never go down. That's guaranteed. Plus, there's no medical exam to take, and there's no waiting period. Once you're covered, it's from the very first day for the full amount. Just call this toll-free number. Free information will be rushed to you by Western Union. You'll also get free membership in Veterans Vision Care, an eye care plan that saves you money. And once you're covered, you'll get a free subscription to Veterans Update, a newsletter filled with VA news, benefit updates, and more. $1 a week. It's one of the best ways going to give your family the extra security you want them to have. Call now.
Here, Joe.
I'm going to call as soon as I get a chance.
Use our phone. Call them now.
Veterans and spouses ages 45 to 75. Call 1-800-247-8500. Veterans Life Insurance Company will send you a free information package immediately. There's absolutely no cost or obligation. Call 1-800-247-8500. Operators are standing by to take your call. That number again is 1-800-247-8500. Call now.
Why do parents have such trouble talking to their kids about sex?
Well, I'm very lucky. My father talks to me. He talks to me about sex. He talks to me about the problems that arise. But he also tells me that when he was young, his parents never talked to him. They were never around. And he doesn't want that to happen to me. And I'm lucky. Like, I feel bad. I really do. It's like I want to send my father down and talk to you guys and give him the self-esteem that he gives me, because I don't always feel pretty and I don't always feel terrific. But, I mean, he never had it, so he doesn't want that to happen to me. And I feel that it's unfortunate that I got it and you guys didn't.
I wonder if we aren't let's send a message to men to listen to what these girls are saying, that there hasn't been a man in their life. And if a man fathers a child, he has to know that there's a lot more to fathering than just the sperm passing in the night. Now, why do we have such trouble talking sex with our kids?
I think that a lot of parents have trouble because they're not in touch with their own sexuality and they're not free within themselves to share that with their children. And I think a big thing with all parents is that they speak the truth.
Absolutely.
Sally.
Why are we having trouble? Yes, ma'am.
I don't think it's always the parents' fault. I think most of the time it's the child's fault because they feel afraid or embarrassed to talk to their parents about it. I know many parents who are open, but the children are just like, I'm not going to talk to my mother about it. No, she wouldn't understand.
Jessica?
I live with my mother, but I do speak to my father on a daily basis. I'm very close to my mother. I'm very close to my father. I speak to both of them openly about everything. This has nothing to do with my parents.
Can I ask you a question? Do all of you have divorced families?
No, I
No?
don't. My
One
parents
not?
are together, but my father just
Isn't there?
isn't there.
Okay,
He's there,
so-
but it's like just his body, not his self.
We got it. But the other are all divorced parents. Go.
Yeah, I just think that you're all acting like sex is a big game, and if it was your kids, I don't think you would feel that way.
That's right. It's exactly very interesting to think of how you're going to act if you had 20 years on you. Yes.
I just wanted to say, I'm 16 years old. I'm a lot like you in a lot of ways. I go to high school. I have a lot of friends. I go to parties. I go to clubs. I have an 18-year-old boyfriend, and I'm still a virgin, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm very embarrassed that you are here representing people like me and people who feel like me.
We aren't protesting people like you. We're just saying that people like us are still good people.
I know you're still
It's
a good
your
person.
choice and it's our choice.
But sex is something, and this is something that I've learned from my parents, sex is something that involves love and caring. And from what I hear from your stories, it's just your body, and you guys don't think anything of it. You're just going to go do it with anyone. And I don't respect you for that, and I don't understand how some of you respect yourselves.
Do you have parents that talk to you, and were you put down when you were little?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, but if you have to respect yourself and love yourself.
I have a lot of self-respect
Okay, but once
for
you
myself.
start loving yourself, others
I
will
do love
naturally
myself.
love yourself. But you all seem like you're searching
Yeah, I'd
for
like to know
love.
if any of you people plan in the future of being married or having kids, and what you think you're going to be doing in that situation.
I do. I think I will hopefully one of these days meet the right person. I'm not sexually active like to a head point where I do somebody every day of the year.
I love your do somebody. I love that phrase. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jennifer mentioned before that everybody's having sex. Well, how would you like to be 18 and pregnant? I've had a couple friends that had a drop
I
out
wouldn't
of...
want to be that way. My best friend is 16 years old, and she's
And
pregnant
believe me,
right now.
guys will respect a girl if you refrain and, you know...
Good. Nice to hear you say that. Yes, sir. That's the first man we've had in the entire audience say that, so there's got to be one.
I think there's a problem with what we call civilization. The more that we become civilized, the more exposure to other things. I'm not blaming y'all for it.
That's right.
I'm blaming it on the people that do not teach morals to people. Because if y'all had the morals, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in now.
And the issue here is choice. You're making choices based on a dysfunctional upbringing, which is not your fault, and nobody's blaming you, but you don't have the right to make the wrong choice. We're trying to keep you from making those choices. We want to keep other people from making the wrong choice based on a bad background. That's not an
Everyone's always
excuse.
worried about hurting everyone else's feelings, and everyone's so busy saying, this is what I believe, but you can believe whatever you want, so no one's giving a crap about anybody.
Okay, and so
know?
you guys say we should look up to you guys as role models.
no.
No, wait,
I don't
and follow
say
what
that.
you do, but you guys look down on us so much that there's no way.
I don't believe everyone looks down on you, and just because someone looks at you in a negative way, or someone tells you, like she said her father, or someone said you were ugly and you want this and you want that, that's not necessarily true. That's their opinion. You show them that you're a better person than what they say that you are, okay? If they say that you're a friend, you're a hoe, you show them that you're better than that. You are all that, okay? You show them. You love yourself.
As far as
you know, all you girls are beautiful girls. You love yourself. You're looking for love, start with self first.
But see,
no one else can love you more than you love you.
Well, I think you guys. After a certain amount of time, once you get a bunch of hard knocks, it's hard to bring yourself up because you have to build a wall to keep the hurt.
Today, from this day on, try. That's all.
But people
Just
are there
try.
to present their sex. I think you guys are right. You know, you can't change what you've done, but
such thing as
there's
can't.
one thing that you're missing here. Sex between two people is the most beautiful thing. I mean, it's love, and love goes beyond sex too, and that's what you don't know yet. You haven't learned that love is not just sex.
That's right.
Let's ask our 5 young ladies, have you misinterpreted sex for love? In your own mind, no?
Yes.
No? You feel you have?
Yes.
2, 3, 4 says yes and 1 says no. Your comment?
It's real easy to sit there and say, because you've had bad childhoods, it's real easy to scapegoat and say that because of this, now I can't do that, and now I can't do that. I've met plenty of girls just like you, and it's easy to change, and it's easy to become someone that you want to be. You can't scapegoat. You can't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself because it's easy.
You guys have no idea you don't know how hard it is.
Well, it's very easy for you to criticize everybody who has sex.
I'm not criticizing. I'll tell you what. I put out an opportunity. Any one of you can come and live with me in Manhattan for the summer. I'll change your lives. You can live with me rent-free. I'll change your lives.
Yeah, but that's your choice. Your choice is abstinence.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Your choice is abstinence, and you've made that very clear that you're very happy.
But I have the
not
tools.
everybody is you.
Exactly.
And
I
you
have
have
the
a problem
tools.
because you don't respect other people.
That's
I mean,
not true.
if somebody didn't have
That's not
sex, none of
true.
us would be here.
No,
you
that's
have
not
to realize
true.
that people do have
How
sex.
many-
It's natural. To abuse sex is another problem.
Take a break.
This is a problem.
Levy and Gruen, attorneys.
When you or a loved one are seriously hurt by the carelessness of a doctor or hospital, call Levy and Gruen. We know it's difficult for you to believe that a trusted professional was negligent.
Don't try to guess if someone made a mistake in your medical care. Let Levy and Gruen evaluate and handle your claim. Rely on us. We can help.
Call to discuss your medical malpractice claim, 861-5555.
Honey, I'm home. You still on that couch? It's a beautiful day out there. Why don't you take Daisy for a walk? Fresh air will do you good. We'll make lunch while you're out. By the way, I picked up some Edie's cookies and cream.
Yes! Edie's. Evidently, it's not your normal ice cream.
Folks, the real fireworks are at Buddy's Carpet this 4th of July. We begged our suppliers, and your buddy in the carpet business came through. Listen to this. Commercial carpet as low as $3.99 a square yard. Residential carpet with stain protection, $4.99. Berber's, $5.99. Premium carpet. Ansel, Wear Data, Travera, Stainmaster, only $6.99 a square yard. There's no interest or payments till next year, but it ends on the 4th of July at Buddy's Carpet.
Walt Disney Pictures invites you to the party of the year. It's the celebration of Walt Disney's timeless classic, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You can only see it at a theater near you.
It's now or never.
Everyone will be there. You'll meet Happy, Dopey, Doc, Bashful, Grumpy, Sleepy, and Sneezy too. Don't miss the greatest animated movie of all time, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, rated G. Starts Friday, July 2nd at a theater near you.
Is your husband's ex-wife turning the children against you? If so, call me and tell us your story.
Carly, will you take her up on her offer?
All right.
Do you realize? There are those who think this is Sin City. There are those. Do you live in New York?
I live in Manhattan, 2 blocks away.
Do you realize what life is going to be like for you in New York?
I've lived 13 years in Long Island. I have a clue.
Do you know what it's going to be like living with her?
I guess I'll find out.
Okay, we're going to follow it. We're going to give you a time frame so that you don't impose on her. And we're going to see what life is going to be like. We'll have you come back, okay?
That's good.
All right?
I respect the fact that low self-esteem and abuse could have brought on your desires to have sex, but I think it's important that you guys have learned today that that's done nothing. Sex has done nothing for your self-esteem. If anything, it's just lowered it. So, you know, a lot of guys are looking like for pretty girls like yourselves to go out and have sex with, but, you know, there are a lot of guys like myself who just want a nice relationship, and ultimately it might turn into an intimate relationship. And that's what sex truly should be, and that's when it'll mean a lot more to you.
I want to ask a question when we come back. If these were 5 guys, how would we have talked to them differently?
Before you pull it over, slip it on, zip it up, caress to feel softer. Before you button it up, slide it on, wrap it round, caress. It's the first step to feeling beautiful. It's the moisturizing body bar with bath oil. Caress leaves skin softer than soap can. Before you tie it up, clip it on, step on in, or step on out. Before you dress, caress.
Party's over, and nothing's gonna spoil these leftovers, because I use Ziploc brand storage bags. Only Ziploc has the gripper zipper. Tough, tiny teeth that lock freshness in. I wish I felt this fresh. Ziploc has the lock on freshness.
Where will you be when your laxative starts working? Where will you be? With Fleet brand glycerin suppositories, there's no worry. Fleet works when you want it to, in minutes. For fast, predictable relief, trust Fleet. It's predictable.
You know,
When you're shopping for cereal, I suggest you walk this way because it keeps the expensive cereals out of reach and puts you in a better position to find multi-meal cereals. See, they're usually down here, well, in a bag. And they're every bit as good as these and cost less. See, this one costs about $1 less. $1. Multi-meal. The savings are in the bag. You really ought to come down here.
Whisk wants your worst.
With 3 teenage sons, we're talking the real worst.
But we're talking new double power whisk.
One of them blew up, a burrito. And isn't toss the salad a stupid expression?
Every wash load is a collection of stains, and nothing gets out stains better than new double power whisk.
Oh, good, a late entry.
It's so thick with power, half as much cleans the worst wash load.
Even the grease is gone. Trust me, they're you, only cleaner.
New double power whisk. When you get out the worst, the rest is easy.
Quinn weighs almost 500 pounds. Why is she so overweight?
She blames her mother for her weight problem.
One time she said, why don't you put a gun to your head and blow your brains out?
But Mom doesn't think she's cruel. She says she's trying to save her daughter.
I said, honey, you know, you're dying. You're just sitting here literally dying.
This is your daughter, and you're talking like you hate her.
My daughter is dying.
Next, Sally.
Okay, let me pass you the microphone. If these had been 5 guys, what would we have done?
Well, they now have a show called Studs, actually.
That's right. But yet again, there are girls on there.
Are there girl studs on there? Is there a way in which we talk differently to these young people if they were men or if they were instead of women?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that society looks at men and we let them get away with this kind of behavior, and that's wrong. Because a male slut is just as bad as a girl one.
That's right. That's what they call it.
I agree with that to an extent, but then again, I've seen talk shows where they had a guy on who says, yeah, I slept with thousands of girls, whatever, and he got ribbed into pretty good by just about everybody there, and I don't think that it's just totally accepted by, guys, okay,
it's a little bit more accepted.
I think there's a big responsibility that women have. People treat us differently because, we bear children.
What do you think when you meet a male virgin?
I love it. I
Yes.
think it's really cool.
I have something to say to Jessica.
Go ahead.
And it might embarrass
Quickly.
her, it might embarrass me, but I have to tell her I love her.
Can I say something to that? Well, he might be in love with her, but I've been in love with him for a while.
The Akron Rib and Music Festival features national and local rib restaurants with Restless Heart, the Four Tops, and Bachman Turner Overdrive. July 2nd through 5th, Main Street in downtown Akron.
At Jenny Craig, we've helped thousands of people lose millions of pounds. But we're celebrating a little number this year, 10. It's our 10th anniversary. 10 years of one-on-one counseling, fabulous cuisine, and a plan for living thin that really works. Don't you think an anniversary like this calls for a once-in-a-lifetime offer? We thought so.
Celebrate our 10th anniversary. Join for 10 weeks and pay only $10. Call 1-800-92-JENNY.
Only one adult cereal could be this much fun to eat. Basic 4, a colorful mix of lightly toasted flakes, sweet and tangy fruits, and crunchy nuts. Splash on cold milk and you get something tasty from each of the 4 food groups. Basic 4. Tastes so good. You'll forget it's for adults.
Teenagers are being locked away in private psychiatric hospitals. They claim they're prisoners of an insurance scam. Stripped of their youth and robbed of their freedom, these kids are fighting back. Money over mind on the next Current Affair.
Tonight at 7 on Channel 3.
Coming up today on Channel 3 Noon News.
Good morning. 3 teenagers continue to recover following a fireworks explosion inside a car. We will bring you the latest.
Are you looking for a way to increase the value of your home without major work? Well, perhaps you should consider new windows and doors. We will have some tips. And the beat goes on for the Tribe. Make it 4 in a row as the Warriors of the Cuyahoga shut out the White Sox. We'll see you at noon.
If you'd like to order a video cassette of Sally's show for only $24.95, call Video Archives at 1-800-FOR-VIDEO. For a transcript, send $3 to 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or call 303-831-9000.
Okay, you're going to have to follow this story. We have Carly living with Rachel for a certain period of time. We have Jessica professing her love. We have you professing your love for Jessica. We have Carly saying she's in love with you. Listen, if you weren't with us yesterday, please try to come every day because you missed a heck of a lot. Let me tell you this. If it can, when these young ladies came in here, we were appalled. Most of us were terribly upset. Now we have come to love you. If that can take place and you can just learn to love one person, no matter how they feel, then this whole thing wouldn't be in vain. That's what does it. One, and then one, and then one. Thank you, Jane, a lot. Thank all of you a lot.
Some members of our audience will receive, and a promotional fee has been provided by...
It's new and ready to rent. Rug Doctor's Easy One. Rent the one-piece carpet cleaning machine that's easy to use. The Easy One.
Rug Doctor is steaming mad at dirt.
For hair color that thinks it's a conditioner, ask your professional stylist for Shades EQ Color Gloss from Redken, the power behind beautiful hair.
Klondike Light Bars. Great taste, less fat, 110 calories, and no sugar added, thanks to NutraSweet. What would you do for a Klondike?
Do you hate cleaning the toilet? Try my 2000 Flushes Blue. It's concentrated to clean and deodorize up to 4 months. 2000 Flushes Blue.
Teenage sisters who do everything together, especially fight. Squabbling Teen Sisters, Nick Donahue.
Today at 5 on Channel 3.
Malpractice. A serious and complicated problem that we can simplify. Talk to us without obligation about your problem. We can help you.
This morning my hair was straight. Then Bill called, so I decided to go curly. I used Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
Wash and Curl with special curl enhancers that work right in the shower.
Thank you, Wash and Curl.
Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
Are you crazy doing your nails in bed?
No, I'm not crazy. I'm using this new nail polish that dries in just 60 seconds.
Introducing Nutrinail 60-second nail enamel.
See, honey, my nails are completely dry.
Nutrinail 60-second. Trading in your old car? How much do they offer you? Is that enough? Did you shop Spitzer? Are you sure it's enough? Until you shop Spitzer, you'll never know for sure.
We want your car truck, and we'll pay you a lot of money for it. Whether you trade it in or sell it to us outright, we'll give you top dollar for it. So before you make your final decision to trade, come into one of our stores.
Spitzer, the last word in low price.
Okay.
It's official. The easiest big win ever has been expanded from 2 days to 4 days a week. Play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Join in the winning.
Give me 5 right now.